Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and I certainly hope you're having a good day. Precisely and exactly what this movie file is about is to show you that you can put a fly fishing rod and reel setup together without bankrupting you. In a nutshell. Because here it is. In the last 40, 50 years or so, I've watched the price of fly rods and fly reels go clear out the roof. It's just astronomically ridiculous. And I think that the initial cost of getting into fly fishing is what causes a lot of people to not want to try to take up the wonderful sport of fly fishing. So all I'm going to be doing, especially at the end of this file, is I've spent the last couple of weeks gathering a rod, a reel, a line, and I'll be putting that together. And I'm going to text in a few products that I know that you can get into that aren't really expensive and like that. Because the simple fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be really rich to be a fly fisherman. You know, I can always tell by looking at somebody's outfit, you know, if they're a very experienced fly fisherman or not. There's little telltale signs that I know what to look for. Okay, but fly fishing was one of these sports years ago, because I realize that's not now, but it was one of these sports that was handed down from grandfather to father, and then to son, and then to his son, and like that. And so that's the whole total purpose here, is just to save you a few dollars. Amen and amen. So let's get on with this. Very well, and one of the first things that a kid has to do figuring out this fly fishing maze or puzzle, so to speak, is picking out a fly rod. I've already done a YouTube video or so on this, but what I'm going to be dealing with here is a 9-foot Fenwick HMG 4-piece takedown rod. Okay, let me set the case and handle aside for just a second. And of course, the second thing, biggest decision that a person needs to make, is these reels. And as you folks can tell from that list that you just got done seeing, that was just a partial list, by the way, of rods and reels. But anyway, for this video, this is my choice in a reel. It's a Wright McGill Dragonfly. It says it on here somewhere. I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter about that. This reel wasn't a real expensive reel or anything, but I checked it out very, very well. It seems to be very smooth. The drag, of course, is over here on this other side. It works quite well. One of the first things you got to do once you've got these two items put together is you got to put this wonderful stuff on here called backing. And most of the time this stuff is made out of Dacron. I can't really give you any cheap tips on this backing because, you know, for 100 yards or so, this stuff you're into this for about, $10. There's several different names out there, but it really doesn't matter. I got some big, loud, yellowish green stuff. Actually, the people I ordered this from screwed up my order. This is supposed to be orange, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do is put the backing on this reel right now. So let me get to that part of this program. Well, it probably looks like I got a holy rolling mess here, but I only put half of this backing on this reel here because this is a large arbor reel, but that distance that you see right there, you don't never want to get too much backing on these large arbor reels because your fly line won't fit in there. So I'm only putting 50 yards on here, and very few times in my 40 years of fly fishing have I ever, got into a big enough fish where it drug off more than 10, 15 yards of backing anyway. So now it's on to the fly line, but I do have a few things I'd like to say about fly lines before I attach that. I really can't offer any economic or cheap advice about fly lines because these dang things are not cheap. And there's lots of companies out there building them, but over the years, like I said, I've been a fly fisherman for over 40 years. I've used that name right there, Cortland. Now, what I urge everybody to do that watches this video is to shop around, do a lot of internet surfing, or whatever have you. I happen to get this particular Cortland line right here for 45 bucks. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put a plug in for an outfit that just started up over in Bozeman. They call themselves Bozeman Fly Works, and I'll put the URL in. They're selling lines on Amazon for 40 bucks. But I got to give you a big warning about these fly lines. You buy a fly line that's only a $15 fly line, and chances are you've wasted a lot of money because it doesn't make any difference how expensive of a reel you got. It doesn't make any difference how expensive of a rod you got. But if you don't have a decent line, all of it's for naught. And the same thing that you've seen me doing here with this pencil, I use this pencil right here on this backing because I put it between my knees so it'll roll up straight, because you don't want to get everything all messed up and curled up and twisted up, and that's the same way it is with this spool here on this fly line. Whoops. I'll be inserting that pencil through here so I can roll this out, because one time years ago I just threw a bunch of fly line on the floor and let it get all tangled up, and I had one dickens of a mess. So you want to try to roll this off in some kind of an order. And this line right here is a double taper. A weighted forward. So there's just one end that goes on this backing right here. The weighted forward is the very first part of your fly line that needs to be, outward at the tip of your reel. So that's what I'll be installing next. Well, you're probably not going to see this very well because my camera has a little trouble with close focus. But see this knot right here? This is called a needle or a nail knot. Every fly fisherman needs to know this knot, not only for tying backing onto fly line, but your leader onto your fly line. So I just thought I'd show you that knot. I got to trim it up yet before I spin this weighted forward number 5 Cortland line on. But yep, that's a necessary, absolutely gotta know, gotta get her done type of a knot. A nail knot or a needle knot. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the line installed. And you can see that this distance right in here is not all that great. Now you can understand why I only put 50 yards of backing on here, but like I say, backing is really, I don't know why I keep jabbering about it, because it's one of the least most expensive things that you'll be dealing with. Okay, to recap, because this movie file is supposed to be about expense, like I say, this is a Wright McGill Dragonfly reel. I've got 85 bucks into this. Okay, this is a weighted forward number 5 weight. A weighted forward Cortland 444 SL fly line. I got $45 into that. Okay, and this is a Fenwick HMG. let me turn this around. You've seen this a bunch of times. And I've got $160 into this rod right here, plus shipping. So there's your basic expense. And the only last thing I want to talk to you about for a second is these leaders. Now, these fluorocarbon leaders are nothing new. And this is the first year I've used these things, because I just absolutely refuse to pay 10, 15 bucks a liter. But that's what these goofy things are going to cost you. And here again, I'm going to put a pitch in for Bozeman Fly Works in Bozeman, Montana. I bought on Amazon, let's see, what was it? 5 liters from them guys over there, and I've talked to them by email too. And I only paid $12 and some odd cents shipped to my door, because I didn't exactly know where they were located, but I do now. So my best advice in closing, ladies and gentlemen, is just do a lot of comparison shopping. I posted a lot of data and text to give you an idea that there are some relatively inexpensive fly rods and reels, but I personally think that this whole miserable mess with, fly rods, reels, lines, and everything has gotten pretty ridiculous. So anyway, I hope you learned something here. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but just watch your P's and Q's, do a lot of comparison shopping. Oh, I might want to throw one last thing in here while I'm at it. If you don't want to fool with this matching up stuff, or whatever have you, a good place to get combos, a combo rod and reel setup is Cabela's. I know this for an absolute fact. Okay? Just keep that in mind. If you just don't want to hassle with it all, but be very, very careful, because some of these deals out there, on those combo deals, you're going to get ripped off. Either the rod ain't going to be a very good quality, the reel's not going to be very good quality, or whatever have you. But I do recommend Cabela's, ladies and gentlemen, for combo outfits if you don't want to mix and match, so to speak. So, well, that's the end of this long-winded file. The only thing left I got to do is just put this fluorocarbon leader on here, which I won't bore you with that, and get on down the trail and go fishing. So, thank you very much for watching the movie file, and